Welcome back to the 8th episode of 3 and Out, Week 8. We're about to enter. Pat, Keegan are back. They are both 2-0 in the trivia competition. They're the last remaining undefeated teams. By the end of the night, only one team will be left undefeated. Pat, you beat out Spags and then Ryan Jackson of the audience team. And Keegan, you've beaten Brian twice, who started 0-3 before getting his first win last week. Rough. So it's a big battle here. We're already halfway through the season. We're gonna be doing a tournament towards the end of the year. So the time for stacking up wins is already halfway done. This could determine the 1 seed. How are we feeling?
I'm glad I've got some competition this week. That's all I'll say on the matter.
I would say I'm gonna say I am not very confident about my chances here. Not very confident, but Keegan, you never know.
We'll set the table. Keegan's been the wagon so far. They're both 2-0. Keegan's been demolishing. He's been putting up high point totals. Brian's tried to have late comebacks in both their matchups, but it hasn't been working out for him.
I mean, I beat Spags 1-0. So
yeah. I'll say this as well. I watch every week, as should everybody else. It's a wonderful program. I contribute in the chat, and I watch everybody while I do that as well.
He does. That's where Keegan's really separated himself here. He dominates.
Spags was so upset last week that he accused me of Googling because I was getting them in like a half a second before he could even think.
So we'll set the table here. The record for points in a week has been matched by both of you and Brian last week, and I believe Mark might have matched it in his one performance so far. I think he might have been a little short, but it's 5. Keegan got 5, and then he won with 5 against Brian round 1, and then he won with 4. Pat, you won with 5 against Ryan Jackson, and Brian won with 5 last week over Spags. So see if either of you can break the record tonight. It's tough because if your opponent's good, you'd have to get if you're not stealing your opponents, you're gonna have to get every single question to top that.
Right.
So 5 is almost half the points.
No baseball questions, right?
There's just no baseball.
That would be very unfair.
Not for you, but there is no baseball tonight.
There's going to be a Marvel one, and Pat's going to kill me.
Can you imagine the Marvel one? That'd be so
we got a lot on the plate tonight. We're going to be doing a Halloween candy draft because we're basic like that. Halloween's obviously on Sunday for those of you outside the States. And then we'll get into trivia. So let's fly through first down here.
By the way, you told me to do prep work for that. There's no prep work needed for that. Zero. Never even thought about it. I don't have to think about it.
Here we go. All right. So recap. Let's get the stuff on the board. That's the wrong one. I almost just gave away a trivia question.
Oh boy.
All right. Patriots played the Jets on Sunday. Mac down 54-13. Mac Jones 24-36, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Only took 1 sack for 8 yards and had a 111.7 passer rating. Damian Harris was another star of the game. 14 rushes, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Bolden had 6 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown and 2 rushes for 0 yards on the ground. Let me start there with Bolden. He didn't even play well.
He didn't.
No shot. Nothing against Bolden. Great to see him put up the numbers, but every single one was a screen that he just ran into space until there was no more space, and that was it.
Right.
That was 679.
No, it was literally just like, oh, no one's covering Brandon Bolden? Sure, let's throw it to him. That's literally what happened.
And a blowout like that bums me out. Like get Damian Harris some passing. We've been trying to see his role.
Or JJ Taylor.
JJ Taylor.
You're trying to find the guy a role.
Right. So
I don't know the exact stat on this, but I'm pretty sure 85 of his 99 receiving yards were before being touched. It was that wide open.
Yeah.
So
no,
shout out Bolden for having a career statistical day, but
he stayed in bounds. He stayed in bounds on the TD. He made some plays.
The touchdown was a nice play. Everyone else on the roster also makes that play, but it was a nice play.
Right.
It's a play that you wouldn't expect Brandon Bolden to make. So
I think the biggest thing, and this is the issue for me, is that what it shows me and what it should show everyone else is that they trust nobody else in the pass game. Yeah. And not receiving the ball out of the backfield. Because we saw Ramondre Stevenson do that. Pass protection is really where they look at it and say, well, no, Brandon Bolden's the only guy on the team that can do that. And so when we're going to throw the ball, Bolden has to be in the game. The problem with that is that, you're running into this James White, Sony Michel thing they ran into in 2019, where it's like, he can't run the ball. You can't give the ball to Sony Michel running the ball. Can't get the ball to Brandon Bolden, run the ball. Can't do it. Can't do it. He can't run.
They keep trying.
Right. And he's terrible and you can't do it. And so, like, don't hand the ball off to him. So now it's like, okay, well, if he's out there, it's a pass. So I feel like we should get to a point now where run him at fullback a little bit. See what happens if you run him at fullback. I mean, because, like, I don't know. I mean,
we saw it last week with they're running Jonnu at fullback, which I talked about it, kind of during the game.
He had a couple snaps there too.
Yeah, it was a situation where you're going to beat the Jets, so why not try some new stuff? And they did that, and it was awesome while it lasted. And then they were up 21, and they're like, we're not going to do anything more. We're not going to show anything more. Yeah. And right, Jonnu got hurt, but I think they're starting to get a little bit creative at that spot because they know they need to, which is nice. It's nice to see them do some fun stuff.
And Jakob murdered people, like just straight up murdered people.
Jakob had more impressive receptions than Brandon Bolden did, too.
I mean, bro, when he caught that, was it on the pass catch that he caught? He lined up at tight end that play, and he just absolutely bungled. Oh my God, dude, he killed the man. He killed him.
I thought he broke his leg on the first one because he got bundled on the first one, and then came out like 3 plays later and had a 25-yard catch. So.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you, Pat, that it speaks to the lack of faith that they have in the rest of the backfield in pass protection. But by the end of the year, not to be a negative guy off of that type of win, I still don't see this as a playoff team, maybe a 7 seed for the Patriots, but it's really more of a development year, in my opinion. So by the end of the year, it needs to be bold in getting the MPs with Stevenson and J.J. Taylor active.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Obviously, one of them needs to take a step where they can at least show enough in pass protection that you can throw them out there and let them work through live reps, because you don't want Matt getting killed because Ramondre has no clue what to do. But there's zero benefit to Brandon Bolden being. And
there's also the kind of when you start to get these guys in their roles, like J.J. Taylor, I don't think he'll ever be great in pass protection. Dion Lewis wasn't out there to Yeah, he wasn't out there to block people. He was out there to run routes. And I think J.J. Taylor, once he gets there, then they'll be able to kind of focus Ramondre and be like, this is how you pass protect. I think everything's going to end up falling into place, but I think 11 games into J.J. Taylor's career and 3 into Ramondre's career. Like, it takes time for these things to develop against live NFL action.
I have to say I am extremely upset at the entire Pat's Pulpit following and the staff at Pat's Pulpit, incredibly upset because that play by J.J. Taylor where he caught the ball and then dove underneath the blocker and defender and just popped out the other end and ran for I asked for a GIF when that happened, and I still have not received it.
I didn't have the means to get it for you,
and so I'm a little upset about that. I'm not upset. I'm disappointed.
Go get that GIF and send it to Pat. I wanted to get it for you live, and I didn't have the means to do so.
Somebody get that GIF for me because that was Dark Blue Gold. Appreciate you. That was so unbelievable. It was just one of those plays where he caught it. And then he went underneath it, and I'm like, wait a second. He just picked up 5 yards. How did he not get tackled there? He just popped out the other end. It was crazy.
Like 5 or 6 years old, like learning football from my dad, asking him why they don't just get like small guys to crawl between the legs of like offensive linemen and then pop out the other side. And obviously that's, you're going to get touched down and all that. That's how I learned, what constitutes being down. But that's literally what J.J. Taylor did.
Yeah.
He got to the ground, he got low, he's so tiny, and he popped out the other side.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was incredible.
I don't think he's ever caught in the ball and not touched his hand to the ground too, because he gets that low where he needs to balance himself with his hand and then works from there.
Last thing that I want to talk about, Mac Jones had another good game, first 300-yard game. I didn't think he was better than the Cowboys game, which is probably promising considering that statistically he looked better. He only had, again, building off of the Cowboys game, he only had 1 or 2 bad misses. 2 if you blame the pick 6 on him. 1 if you take Kendrick Bourne's word for it, say that was on Bourne running the wrong type of route. This game, again, he only had 1 or 2. He missed Hunter Henry on the 3rd down early in the first half. And there was another one that I highlighted. I didn't write it down because I'm stupid and I don't remember what it was, but I counted 2.
Was the near interception, was that Henry?
Yeah.
On 3rd down?
Yeah. The near interception where it wasn't a missed throw. It was, he didn't see the linebacker. Right.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like he thought it was man and they were playing zone.
There were a few plays like that. And he ended up being good, but he was fine at the beginning of the game. He was fine. Yeah. He wasn't great at the beginning of the game. He was like, okay. Right. And then as the game got on, he got better. That Hunter Henry miss you're talking about, he had Jacoby Myers on the dig route in the middle of the field. He had him wide open.
Yeah, he came away from
and he just, for whatever reason, didn't throw it. And then he had time to then set his feet and throw it back to Hunter Henry, and he didn't set his feet again. And he just tried to throw it facing the other way, and he missed it.
Yeah, both to Henry. I think fine, like you said, fine. That's the perfect way to describe his year so far, but especially that game, because you saw Brian Hoyer come in and lead a touchdown drive immediately. It's like, well, maybe let's take the competition into factor.
Right. Like, but at the same time, and
Brian Hoyer's doing it, then.
And this is my point, right? The Jets are terrible. We all agree with that. The Jets are terrible. The Patriots are the first team this year to put up 50 points. Nobody else in the league has put up 50 points before that game. So the first team to do that, they put up the most points they have since 2013 when they put up 55 against Pittsburgh. Like that doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen, right? Like I get it. I know that it's the Jets, but like you don't put up a 50 burger out of nowhere. Like they obviously executed well, and there are things you can build on. Now, are they going to put up 50 on LA this week? No, but like it's still, you can still be moving in the right direction, and you put it all together against the Jets and you see what can happen, you know?
They did exactly what Spags and I talked about last week, and Brian, the negative guy that he is, just everyone go boo Brian on Twitter, said that he was smelling a letdown game. He took that take to Twitter, said that he felt like the Patriots were going to lose. They obviously didn't. They did exactly what Spags and I wanted, and Brian wanted to see it. He didn't think he was going to see it. Where they didn't just run back the week 2 game plan of we're just going to keep this boring and take our win. They tried stuff. Max started taking shots downfield a little bit more. Like it was exactly what you want to see from playing a team of this caliber.
I agree.
And now
by the way,
need to see it carry over for a third consecutive week because they haven't really carried over week to week before these past 2 games. So now you want to build and have a third straight week like this.
So Team Crazy Matt over here is talking about they don't get Jacoby a touchdown. I'll tell you what, at this point, I'm actively rooting for him not to score a touchdown.
Yeah, because he's almost at the record.
Pat, don't steal my take. I tweeted months ago.
Did you?
I never want him to ever score a touchdown. I want him to have 10,000 career yards.
He's only behind Joe? I think he's behind Joe Horn still for most career receiving yards without a touchdown.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like, shit, give me the record, dude.
He's like 200 behind. Go get it.
And you know what? I think his dad loves it because they showed his dad in the stands after that play where he didn't get the ball, and his dad was like cracking up. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world. So me and Jacoby's dad, no touchdown.
After the touchdown call back for the penalty, that's official. They had the touchdown callback for the penalty. Was it this week he got the 2-point conversion, or was that last week too?
No, it was last week.
No, it was last week. So they had touchdown callback for penalty for him, and then they gave him the 2-point conversion. So he got in the end zone, didn't score a touchdown. Yeah, right. I'm with you, Keegan. He can never score a touchdown now.
And that's like, and he's like cursed because after that touchdown was called back, 2 plays later, Mac fumbled, strip sack. So it was like, oh my God, dude, just stop throwing to Myers in the red zone.
Yep. All right, last thing I want to talk about on this game, the target distribution. It is just remarkably even right now. I'm gonna read off the numbers for you. So for targets to individual guys, we had 7, 7, 5, 5, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Obviously, some of those are end of the game backups coming in, but that 7 was first 7 to Myers, next 7 to Brandon Bolden. 5 was to I think Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne. You had Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar. It was Aguilar and Henry, and then Bourne and Jonnu had 4. And then the 2s and the 1s were like, Nikhil, JJ Taylor, Damian. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there was
11 guys have a catch. I believe it was 11 guys had a catch.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The only thing I want to bring up here is that Kendrick Bourne is still like 5th in the priority in terms of targets, and that needs to continue going up because he's Hunter Henry and Jacoby Myers. They're dependable guys in different forms, and Kendrick Bourne's their playmaker right now. It needs to keep going.
I think once Jonnu's start going up, the running backs are going to go down, and then Kendricks are also going to go up, kind of behind that. I think all that's going to fall into place.
Darku Gold, yeah. Jonnu left after like the first drive and didn't return. Yes. He's we'll get to the injury report for this week. We'll transition to the preview now, but he was limited today, which should indicate that he's going to be okay to go. But we'll see.
Everyone was there on the field. I love it. I love it. This is Brady 01. Like this is shades of like Brady early on where it was just throw to the open guy.
I think Jonnu would have had 40 catches Sunday if he didn't get hurt.
Absolutely. It would have been the Jonnu game.
Was it 4 or 5 times?
It was 4.
And 4 times in one drive. They wanted to get that guy the ball. And he played really well when he was out there. So
it was his best game, and he only played like a drive and a half.
Yep.
Right.
All right, let's get on to the preview. Great win. Really, like we're talking, the Jets are so bad. There's not a whole lot you take from it. You just they did what you wanted them to do. you hope that they continue to build on that against tougher competition this week. So we've got the LA Chargers flying out to Los Angeles, San Diego to play them. It is a 4 p.m. game on Sunday, which is Halloween. Chargers are coming off of a bye. They had their worst game of the year before that in a loss to the Ravens. Justin Herbert did not look good. Not like a process thing. He wasn't accurate. It was an early game for a West Coast team going to the East Coast. Happens. Wouldn't really read too much into it. Just felt like an anomaly bad game. Mike Williams has been the breakout star for them this year. 33 receptions, 498 yards, 6 touchdowns, carrying my fantasy team, by the way. The defense is not very good, especially the run game, which you hope that it's a Damian Harris game for the 3rd week in a row. They can't stop anyone. You run it up the middle on them and you're getting 5 yards a pop at least. Their pass defense is a little bit better. It's not great. They offensively score a little bit better and move the ball a little bit better than the Patriots. Defensively, in the pass game, they're very similar to the Patriots, where they'll move the ball. They're not giving up too many super explosive plays, though. But the run defense is really the difference there. They do not have a good run defense. You know that Bill Belichick loves to try and control the ball and control the clock and manage it and play safe, and they're going to give him the opportunity to do that. So I'm expecting that type of game plan. A lot of runs, a lot of short passes, try to keep the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands and try to win this kind of low-scoring, ugly game.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I mean, I believe Los Angeles is last in DVOA against the run. Real bad.
Yeah,
it's looking real bad. And what I've noticed, I've only seen like half of 2 of their games, but it seems like Derwin James, they're getting him out of the box a little bit because they don't want him to continue to get hurt because that's been his career so far. Like, phenomenal player, can't stay healthy because they're basically playing him at linebacker. So he's been playing out of the box, which has opened things up a little bit, like in my eyes on the 3 quarters of football that I've watched. And their defensive line, it seems like they're all about getting after the passer.
Yeah.
And none of them are about, setting.
They don't have an interior player anymore.
Right. Linval Joseph is their guy, and he's 32 and kind of on the back end of his career. So run the ball 1,000 times is my.
And they can get after the passer. Joey Bosa obviously there. Yep. So you kind of hope to avoid subjecting Mac to that type of contact.
Yeah, I mean, run it. It's simple, right? I mean, the Chargers are really good. Like, they're a good team. I know they got murdered by Baltimore, who then got crushed by Cincy this week. But either way, they're still a good team, man. And you can't expect Herbert to play like that again after a bye week with a suspect defense in New England going out west. I'm very concerned about this game. So it's run the ball, try to control the clock, try to control the momentum that's going on. You saw what happened in the Dallas game where they ran 94 plays. At the end of the game, they were just dead. They had nothing left, So, like, you run enough plays against those guys and you keep the offense on the field and, they can't get in a rhythm or whatever. And so, and then you kind of use that because beyond that, there's really not much else you can do. I mean, you just kind of hope and pray that, it's not going to be a situation. You're not going to win a shootout against the Chargers. It's just not going to happen. You don't have the weapons, So you got to win like that.
And we're going to keep the preview short because we have some lengthy segments here. So we'll cut it off there. I'll wrap this up with an injury report for Wednesday. The Chargers, Kenneth Murray went to IR. That was either this week or last week, but he won't be playing. Their first-round linebacker from last year. Patriots traded up with the Patriots to get him. Drew Tranquill's limited. Sorry, I've got some audio or something come through. All right. Drew Tranquill's limited. Nasir Adderley and Mike Williams were full participants. For New England, Jonathan Jones and Harvey Longy went to IR, and then everyone else practiced, but a lot of limiteds. David Andrews, Jawan Bentley, Kendrick Bourne, Carl Davis, Kyle Duggar, Nick Folk, Devon Godshaw, Dante Hightower, Brandon King, Shaq Mason, Jonnu Smith, Josh Uche, Kyle Van Noy, Sean Wade, good to see him back after his concussion stuff, and Dietrich Wise were all limited today. So, a lot of question marks in terms of who's going to be on the field, but at least everyone is practicing on Wednesday.
That's the key.
The good news is, too, on that list, it's a lot of the older guys. And we know Bill Belichick doesn't do rest days, but those are rest days. Like, you're still going to be here and you're going to participate, but we're not going to make you hit the 23-year-old rookie. Like, it's also, you don't have to go block Christian Barmore today. Right.
It's also extra encouraging to see Devin McCourty's not even on the list after he missed the rest of the game. Yeah. He kind of had what seemed like it could be the scariest injury of the injuries on Sunday. So good to see that he's completely fine.
For sure.
Let's move it on, though. We'll get to second down here, and we'll get into some segments. So we have two kind of debatey type segments here, and then we're going to get into the candy draft. So my dog is sitting here.
I thought you said the baby, like the rapper, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
We're talking about the rapper?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the rapper, his songs canceled. And his songs and his assaults and his homophobia and all of it. Anyway, all right. So the first thing we're going to do is QB power rankings. Pat, I believe you were on with Ryan when we did team power rankings a few weeks ago.
Yes.
It's going to be similar. So I'm going to give you a list of guys that are definitely better, list guys that are definitely worst, and then I'll rank the rest.
Then Mac, I assume, right?
Nope. I was just going to get there. So we're going to do this for Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not including rookies. However, if I think it's applicable, I'm going to ask you about Mac as well.
Okay.
So right now we're placing Justin Herbert just to get a feel of how much we're really scared of him here this week. And we'll also get a feel for where Mac is at. So in the definitely better category for Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Again, similar team power rankings. Disagree in the chat if you want to, but we're not going to adjust these for now. Definitely worse, and this is where I'm going to ask you about some Mac questions here. Tua, I think definitely worse than Mac, and definitely worse than
Yep.
Joe Burrow. Would you take Joe Burrow or Mac right now?
Joe Burrow.
I was going to say probably Burrow.
I think it's Burrow. Yeah, I think it's Burrow. I don't know about easily. I think that they're in similar buckets. Smart guys, accurate guys, arm strength is going to be a limiting factor for them unless that changes, which doesn't typically change. But Burrow's shown more to this point in his career. He's had an extra year to do it. I'm fine with Burrow there. Yeah. Baker, Mac or Baker?
Baker.
I go Mac, factoring contract status. Because if you're getting Baker, you're about to have to go give him.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
okay.
Are we talking about player or are they
I just throwing that on field. Yeah, Baker right now.
Right.
I don't like Baker's commercials, so Mac, like, come on.
Oh, I disagree.
No, I do like them. Baker. I'm just saying, what?
Right.
What is this barometer?
Okay.
Right. We're not factoring. We're not factoring money into this.
It in. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
Ben Roethlisberger versus Mac.
Mac, a million.
Everybody over Ben Roethlisberger.
Derek Carr, I think, is better than Mac right now.
Yes.
Especially with how he's playing this year specifically. Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater or Mac?
Mac.
Tyrod Taylor, I think.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz or Mac? That's an interesting one because they are basically polar opposite players.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Wentz has all the tools, but like the decision making on that guy. Come on.
That game on Monday night was that's one of the worst plays I've ever seen by a quarterback in my entire life.
That wasn't an interception. He didn't try to throw that.
No, but he was
trying to throw it. It just got hit out.
He was trying to throw it. It just got hit before he could throw it.
And then he flipped his hand and started pushing
out. Yeah, he went like this. That's why it looked like a pass.
So it would have been an interception regardless. It just got to be a fumble because someone got to it before he actually got rid of it because he also shouldn't have even been attempting it from the standpoint of he's about to get sacked.
I like Dark Blue Gold saying Wentz plays like he's on fire. Yeah. I mean, that's literally that's a great description.
Ryan Tannehill, not having his best year, I think he's better than Mac, right?
Yeah.
What we've seen the past few years better. Yeah. Daniel Jones, interesting one. Really having his first good season.
I don't care. No. Daniel Jones stinks. Okay. No.
I'm a Mac guy over Daniel Jones.
Mac. Washington football team's quarterback, I'm taking Mac. Jalen Hurts.
You can't even name him? What? He doesn't have a name? I know they don't have a logo, but he doesn't have a name.
Heineke.
Yeah. So I went with starters, even if starters currently.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
Heineke, either way, it
doesn't matter. Yeah, I agree. Who did you say after that?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Mac.
Jalen Hurts.
I love Jalen Hurts. I just don't know if he's a real NFL quarterback.
I
don't think Hurts is a starter.
I don't think he's like a phenomenal football player, but I feel like Jalen Hurts, there's something there. Maybe this is just me, but like there's something there that you can work with out of Jalen Hurts that I like a lot.
So Dark Blue Gold, we already mentioned Brady. Brady is definitely better than all these people. Yeah.
Mahomes, Brady, and Rodgers fell in the definitely better bucket, just to recap. All these people, and again, the ranking is a little confusing because I'm trying to juggle two at once. These are everyone I'm listing right now are people that are definitely worse than Justin Herbert. We're also considering if they're better or worse than Mac.
Right.
So Kirk
I will
Cousins,
say this on Jalen Hurts real quick. He might just be so handsome that like my view
That's fair.
It's clouded.
He's very handsome.
Listen,
he's a great guy. I'd love for him to be good. I don't think he's a starter. I think he's
that guy.
I think he's a solid mobile backup that can make plays with his legs and occasionally with his arm.
I said this like a couple months ago. Him and Kyler Murray being in the same quarterback room, like he's the perfect Kyler Murray backup.
Absolutely.
Very different players, but the mobility. Like they've got Chris Strevler. Like imagine having Jalen Hurts there, putting him in some packages. Love it. All right, continue.
All right, Kirk Cousins.
better than Mac.
Yeah,
for sure.
Kirk Cousins is like the high-ish range outcome for Mac.
I mean, that's honestly, I think that's what you want. That's what you want.
That was the comp before going into the draft. It was just he's going to be Kirk Cousins. His floor is Kirk Cousins. His ceiling is Kirk Cousins. You hope Kirk Cousins has a strong arm and is kind of dumb.
Yes.
So you hope that Mac is smart enough to pass that ceiling and also make up for the lack of arm.
That's the key. Kirk Cousins, who doesn't poop himself in big situations.
Mac's perfect outcome is like Kirk Cousins premium.
Right.
And so far, he seems to be on that pace because he's been better than I thought, and I would have said he's Kirk Cousins. So,
right. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, who does the same thing in the playoffs.
Right now, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Mac.
Yeah. Jameis is another interesting one. People wanted, or I won't say a lot. There were people who wanted Jameis in New England this offseason.
Mac, just because I can't stand stupid quarterbacks. Like, if you make bad decisions, I can't stand it.
He's so dumb. That hasn't changed. He's dumb.
Yeah. Good dude. I think he's probably a good guy. Like, maybe a little stupid, but probably like a nice fella. But
he seems like a nice guy. Everyone seems to like him that plays with him. But like,
likable is what I should say because I have no idea if he's a good person or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, worse. Had some people fooled for like 3 weeks against the Jets and the garbage cans of the league, but he's worse. He can't play.
I advocated trading for Sam Darnold in the offseason.
Matt Ryan 1,000%. I think Matt Ryan's a really good quarterback.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's very good, playing very good football, especially the past few weeks. He's definitely better than Mac. Ben, outside his MVP season, he's been underrated basically his entire career.
Yeah.
Jimmy G.
Mac.
Yeah,
I was never a Jimmy G guy. You know this about
it's
me,
close.
Right?
It's close for me.
Me and Spags had battles about Jimmy G.
It's close. Jimmy G guy. It's close for me because I just feel like Jimmy G he's
another one that's kind of in that range of outcomes.
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
If Mac's like high end outcome is premium Kirk Cousins, his low end outcome is like Costco Jimmy G.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I think Jimmy is fine. He's not going to like win you a Super Bowl or anything, but he got the Niners to the Super Bowl, right? Like,
well,
I don't know.
Did he? Did he get them to the Super Bowl?
I mean, he was the quarterback.
Okay,
but he lost them to the Super Bowl. We can
just Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. It doesn't just because
but he had the best defense in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, that San Francisco defense is like top 10.
Absurd. Yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
All right. So to recap, these are all these quarterbacks that I'm about to name. Definitely worse than Justin Herbert. We compared them to Mac.
Dark Blue Gold, you're right, by the way. Jimmy G, very handsome.
Yes. Tua, worse than Mac. Burrow, better than Mac. Baker, better than Mac. Ben Roethlisberger, worse than Mac. Derek Carr, better than Mac. Teddy Bridgewater, worse than Mac. Tyrod, worse than Mac. Carson Wentz, worse. Ryan Tannehill, better. Daniel Jones, worse. Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, pick your poison, worse. Jalen Hurts, we end up on Hurts. Pat, you were Mac, and I was Mac, so we said better or worse than Mac. Cousins better than Mac, Goff, Jameis, Sam Darnold, all worse. Matt Ryan better, Jimmy G worse. So you take the definitely better is 3 names. The rank the rest we're about to get to, plus Justin Herbert is 7 names, and then we just named 6. So we have Mac as about the 17th best quarterback in football right now, not including the other rookies. So you take that 17th out of 27 for the 15th overall pick in his rookie season that you didn't trade up for.
Yep.
You take that.
7 games into his career.
All right. So for Justin Herbert, we have 3 that are definitely better. We're going to try to play some. This guarantees that he's a top 10 quarterback right now. No one has issues with that, right? Top 10 quarterback in the league right now.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Justin Herbert or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Really? Okay, that was fast. I'm Justin Herbert here. I don't like Josh Allen. Feels like someone who's just on the strongest high that we've ever seen right now. He still makes stupid decisions repeatedly, game to game. It's still game to game with him. He has great weapons. I think the Bills are the best run organization in football right now. He has great coaches, great weapons. He's made a ton of strides on his own. Credit to him. He's a very good quarterback, deserves to be in the top 10. I'm taking Justin Herbert over him now and long term still though. I think a regression to, I don't know, take 10% off of what he's been the past year and change. And that's what I think long-term Josh Allen ends up being.
Yeah, but his ceiling is so stupidly high. I mean, it's outrageous. Now it's way higher than Herbert's. It's outrageously, dude. When he
I don't think it's that much higher, but I think
when
the
he's
floor is
on,
his mobility,
he's the MVP. When he's on, he's the MVP.
I'm not there with him. His mobility and his arm strength has him there. His accuracy has made absurd improvements. It's never going to be tops in the league. It's better than like, you know, it's good enough, and I would say it's just straight good now, which is like top 1% of improved development in the NFL we've seen at any position ever. Like the improvements he's made from Wyoming to here is absurd. Credit to him. Great quarterback, Super Bowl winning caliber quarterback, like being the reason you win a Super Bowl. I think Justin Herbert has the higher upside. I would take Justin Herbert right now.
Okay.
But you guys both went Josh Allen, so Josh Allen's better. Move him up. Next one, Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, that's tough. You know, Lamar Jackson.
I'm gonna go Herbert.
I go Lamar. So
he literally won an MVP at like 22.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Lamar. It's Lamar. This was one of the easier ones for me. I would put Lamar probably like top 4 right now.
I just want to throw this in here. We're going like OG starters, not backups who became starters. So
and we're also not talking rookies. That's why when he said 27, it's because he took out all the rookies that are starting right now.
And just a little background here, I had Lamar in the definitely better, and then I moved him here because I know he's polarizing, and we'd have some debate about it. But in my opinion, he's in a definitely better tier. Dak Prescott.
Dak.
Yeah.
Go Dak as well. Dak was my MVP pick. I'm sticking with it. I think he's in the conversation enough to stick with it. Dak is excellent.
Just before you get to the next one. Oh, never mind. You already did it. Right. I was just going to say, how many more other than Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson do you have?
There's one more outside those two.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler.
Okay. I go Kyler. I think that's another very close one.
I think it's very close.
I go Kyler for the mobility.
Kyler was my MVP pick this year. So.
And I think he'd have to be the favorite right now. I think it's like him, Brady, and Dak.
It's close. Yeah, it's close.
Josh
but
Allen.
He's certainly in the conversation.
Yeah, that's the 4 right now. Russell Wilson.
Russ
too. Yep.
I go Herbert.
It's like, close.
Is this moving forward, or is this just like?
No, this is right now. But I go Herbert. Russ has made.
Well, he doesn't have a finger, so
it's kind of similar to. Well, yeah, right now in the general sense of like this year healthy. Russ is kind of like Josh Allen in that he's made a remarkable, he's made like a 1% type career that should never have happened, and props to him. But I still think I know let Russ cook was the thing. And then they let Russ cook and it went bad for them very quickly.
Fell apart.
He has limitations that just can't be overcome, and he's overcome them to the absolute max that he can. But I'll take.
I will say the kind of team that you need to put around Russell Wilson to win is incredibly easy to put together.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, draft good defensive players. Like it doesn't matter where, just have good defensive players and a decent offensive line, and you're good. Like he doesn't need great receivers.
Fill 16 out of your 22 starter spots really well, and you're good to go.
No, but his offensive line has never been good. His offensive line's never been good.
The issue is
13 and 14, they were really good.
The issue
and then
is
it fell apart.
He can't throw over the middle. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't throw over the middle. You look at his spray charts over screen. He doesn't throw over the middle, which means you need guys who win outside, which is something that is going away. You can't have that easy offense unless you're successful on screens, which doesn't happen in 2021 anymore, unless you're getting super creative with it and then people adjust in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So they have to win on the outside with downfield shots and guys who can win outside. And that is not how the NFL works anymore. And you can see it. That's why they have to rely on the run game. That's why their offense is so volatile week to week, because he can't and won't throw over the middle. And he's a great quarterback. He's done the absolute best he can in his career for that, but he's also a unicorn now starting to enter the decline a little bit here. And I would take her right now.
Also, I meant like money wise.
No, I know,
the positions that you need good, like you can pay cheap guys to fill those needs.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Matt Stafford, which is very interesting to me, low key, but I go Herbert personally.
I'm gonna say Stafford because he was my MVP pick this year. Not entirely because of him. I mean, that team's ridiculous, I think. But
they're very similar type quarterbacks, and I just think Herbert is already a little better at it than him. And moving forward, again, we're talking right now, but moving forward, that will obviously
right. I mean, the hard part is
this as like 3 years, like this year, next year, the year after. I think Matt Stafford I would take for those 3 years. Anything longer than that, I would take Herbert.
So I think here's the reason why I would pick Herbert in this situation. You've seen what Matt Stafford is with a shitty team around him. You've seen it. It's not good. It's bad. It's very bad. And so, it's pretty bad.
8-time Pro Bowler.
I mean, I know, but it's just stats. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's something else.
5,000 yards to Calvin Johnson and a bunch
of I know. But I mean, I think to me, like, I don't know. Stafford might prove me wrong, and I hope he does because I'm rooting for the Rams this year, especially since then they can knock the Bucs out. But yeah, I think I go Herbert in this situation.
So Matt Stafford is the only one of the rank the rest that we said is worse than Herbert. But I think there was only there were two universal picks. Dak was universally better. We said was better, and Kyler was universally better. So that you put Justin Herbert between the three of us. We have him. We collectively put him 9th, but he could be anywhere from 4th to 9th, really, based on or 6th to 9th, based on how we voted. So that's the type of quarterback you're looking at here. Mac Jones, they win the quarterback battle here,
absolutely
going away, and that's generally, more often than not, that's what you can just look at to decide games. If you didn't know anything else about football and you just wanted to pick, that's and you have one variable to pick from, that's your best chance. Just who has a better quarterback, pick them.
Right.
So for that reason alone, I would go. We'll get to predictions at the end of this, but I'm going Chargers in this game.
Yeah.
All right. Segment number 2: keep or curb. So we're going to go through a handful of guys and decide. A lot of them, some of them are recent free agent signings. Some of them are soon to be free agents, and we're going to say whether we want to keep them or send them to the curb. Straightforward concept. I'd imagine it could be quick. Imagine there's going to be some debates about it. I said that I am auto keeping, and I'm not allowing you guys to debate it. And I don't think there would be. Matt Judon, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, auto keeps.
Correct.
Yeah. So they're not being debated here.
They're like the Yahoo untradeable list, right? Or undroppable.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay.
All right. First guy. I know where Pat's going with this, so I'm curious about Keegan. Jalen Mills.
I'm going to keep him.
Okay. That's not what I thought, but okay.
I'm going to curb him.
Wow, the exact opposite.
To explain mine, I don't like players that are stuck in between in the secondary. I want you to be able to do something and do it really well. I don't think he does anything really well. I think he can fit a bunch of spots in a pinch, but that's not how I'd want to build my defense. So
skill wise, I'd be fine curbing him. Contract wise, I completely disagree with teammate Crazy Matt here. $6 million a year for a second. You could call him the first reserve at legitimately like 5 different positions.
Yeah.
So $6 million a year sounds like a lot 10 years ago, even not a lot right now. That's not a lot. It's just not a lot.
They did get stuck sticking him in a spot where he absolutely shouldn't be playing, which
outside corner is something that he should just be doing situationally, and you don't have to lean on him doing. But ideally, he's your third corner outside. He's your either starting slot or he's your second slot. He's your starting free safety or he's your second free safety, or he's your starting star or your second star. Like you can play him anywhere. And ideally he's your second guy there and you're just playing him around matchup based, chess piece wise. $6 million a year for that over 4 years. And you can cut bait with him anytime after year 2. I'm keeping that until
that's the only reason why I'm keeping him too, because what they have him in right now, he can't do. He can't do it. But he can be that Jason McCourty role in 2018 where he kind of, he plays a little bit of outside, plays a little bit of safety, kind of does. And like Belichick loves guys like that where they're just like chess pieces that you can throw this guy here, you can throw this guy there. The problem is that he's stuck on the outside right now, and like it's not good. I mean, you're going to see it this week against Keenan Allen. Well, he's not going to get Keenan Allen, but if he gets Mike Williams, you're going to see it this week against Mike Williams. Like, see you later, dude.
I think we didn't touch on that yet. Joanne Williams, step on up, pal. Look at the biggest, strongest receiver in the NFL. Go fight him. Like this
lose by
I think that matchup's going to be awesome. There's going to be a ton of penalties, but it's going to be awesome.
Watch Joanne Williams get DNP'd.
Right. All right.
Probably.
Second one.
Real quick, before you finish. If they move on from Adrian Phillips after this year and plug Jalen Mills into that star spot, perfect role for him. I'd put him there, but I think Adrian Phillips is young enough to where you want to keep him around a little bit.
Okay. Stepping on the segment here, Keegan. Jonnu Smith.
Keep.
Yeah, I figured it's a keep right now. It's just too early. This continues through the beginning of next year. It's a curb, but you got to give them time to try to figure out how to use them. It's a keep for now. Nelson Aguilar.
See, this is the issue.
You want me to be a bad guy first? Yeah, curb. Get out of here. I don't care. Get out of here.
I'm looking for it. Dark Blue Gold said that I hate Nelson Aguilar. I do not. I really like Nelson Aguilar.
I like him a lot too.
I think he's a good dude. He's got a great charity. Look it up. It's Our Children, Our Community, or something like that. Great charity, great dude. I tweeted in May that he was going to have a devastating drop in his Patriots career. It took him 6 games, and he had a devastating drop. And then everybody was mad at him or mean to him on my Twitter. It was a tough week for me. I don't hate Nelson Aguilar. He does not fit this team. He never did.
His cap hit next year is $15 million.
Yikes.
$15 million isn't the number that used to be. Again, same thing with $6 million for Dylan. It's not a lot. Corey Davis, we just saw, had a good game against the Patriots. Good player. Got basically the same contract with an extra year tacked on. You can't keep him.
Davis was the guy. He was the guy I wanted. He was the guy I wanted.
He was the guy I wanted as well. Nelson Aguilar should be your 5th option right now. It should be Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, Jacoby Myers, Jonnu Smith, then Nelson Aguilar. You're right now, the ideal role for Nelson Aguilar is 2 to 3 field stretcher shots a game, and then if he just happens to break open as the 4th option on him,
right?
Something breaks down.
Oh, let's make it unanimous. Peace out.
So Nelson Aguilar's cap hit, you said $15 million.
Yeah.
Next year, Stephon Diggs' cap hit, $14 million. So that's terrible.
You restructure him and get that number down. We can have a conversation, but I would say that still qualifies as curbing.
What's the dead cap next year? Do we know?
Let me try to pull it up real quick.
It's got to be
72.
I think it was effectively a 1-year deal. Nope. Okay, $10 million dead cap hit. So he'll be here next year.
Yikes.
Yeah. So again, rooting for him. Nothing against him. That number doesn't work. Devon Godshaw.
Curb.
I think. Well, it depends, but I would say keep for now. I can see curbing though. I wouldn't have an issue with it, but
I am a tentative curb because I wanted to say this about Jalen Mills too. The same for Devin Godshaw. They've had 3 to 3.5 good games. They've had 2 terrible games, 3 to 3.5 good games, and the rest is whatever. So I see the appeal there, but again, his cap hit next year is going to be $10 million. His dead cap would only be half of that. So
$10 million for run stuffing.
Christian Barmore. Christian Barmore hasn't been particularly good against the run this year, but he's been better than expected, or not better than expected, because that's what you expect him to be as a pass rusher. He's done everything as advertised so far. Not great against the run, good pass rusher. They've been giving him more trust on the running early downs against the run. So if you can get if we see that progression out of Barmore that I think we're going to see against the run this year, he doesn't need to be here.
Yeah, no, I think he's fine. Rotational player is kind of how I would look at it.
$10 million for a rotation.
No, well,
especially at a position that still to this day Bill Belichick plucks off the street.
Well, and again, now if you want to bring contracts into it, then absolutely curb. Yeah. I mean, sure, yep.
And for this exercise, do bring contracts.
Okay, all right.
And Larry Guy. Sorry, just to finish up on that. Larry Guy's going to be here for the next 3 years. I feel like people forget that he signed a 4-year contract.
I think
you've got your number one guy.
I think one of them is curbed within the next 2 years. And
definitely. I think it's easier to get out of Lawrence Guy. I just think he's so much better than Gotcha. Yeah. So
his snap counts were trending down. I don't know what they were this week.
They went back up.
Yeah, and okay, there you go. So Kyle Van Noy. I'll jump ahead again too. This is a curb. He has not been good this year. I'm also I hate his commercials with Devin McCourty. Love Devin McCourty. Hate his parts of both the commercials. I'm all set on Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, I'll curb him as well.
I wrote it 2 weeks ago. Give all his snaps give every single one of his snaps to
Jamie Collins.
Yeah, every single one.
We got getting Kyle Van Noy back from the Dolphins was like getting finding $5 that you left in your pocket, in your jacket pocket from 6 months ago. Getting Jamie Collins back is finding $10. So throw the $5 out the window. Go buy a couple Reese's cups.
Jamie Collins. no giving up picks, pal.
All right. Interesting one here. J.C. Jackson.
I mean, keep. You don't have a choice.
You have to keep him. Yeah, you don't have a choice.
The answer in terms of what they should do, easy keep. I think he's gone. I think he's gone.
I think that they're gonna let him go. I wouldn't.
So paying you $5.
Dark Blue Gold's on a roll tonight.
That's fantastic.
I think he's gone. I have a buddy. Little he said she said game here. I have a buddy who is in semi-regular contact with his agent. And he's prepared to get the bag. I think he's gone.
So this is
I thought
where
he was gone before this, and that type of, he said from a friend thing kind of strengthened that thought.
So this is my issue with the Patriots, and we're going to talk about it on the Patriot Nation podcast, which is coming on in about half an hour, 45 minutes. This to me makes the Gilmore trade look even worse. Because I truly believe that the Patriots looked at it and said, we're not paying J.C. Jackson what he wants, so we're going to keep Stephon Gilmore instead. And then they got to this point with Stephon Gilmore, and they said, we don't really feel like paying Gilmore either, so we're going to let him walk too. Now you don't have a number one cornerback. Now we're talking about Jalen Mills next year. Forget about your number two cornerback. Jalen Mills is your number one cornerback next year.
Free agency in the draft.
Wow. But I don't know, and that's fine. But where are you going to get a number one corner in the draft? That ain't happening. Who's going to come in free agency? And if you're going to get a guy that's going to be good enough, you're going to be paying him anyway. So why aren't you paying J.C. Jackson? So
here's
that. That's the issue I have.
Here's the number I heard, and I think it's about what you might have guessed anyway. But tell me if you paid it $590
for J.C. Jackson on this team. Absolutely,
$18 million a year. That's the number that was floated.
490. I'm like 590. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money. Okay, like,
a 40-year contract.
5 for 90.
Yeah, I do that in a heartbeat.
I have a hard time seeing them do it, and I can easily see like a Jaguars or someone going and giving him like 5-1,
which would be so frustrating because like they understand they have talent, and I feel like the only reason you trade Stephon Gilmore for nothing is because you have to move on from him so that you can sign J.C. Jackson. And now, moving on from Gilmore, look, if you let J.C. Jackson walk out the door, if you let him walk out the door, and Gilmore gets whatever he gets next year, or at the end of this year, depending on when you look like an absolute friggin' moron. You look like a moron. You look like a bunch of dumb idiots who refusing to pay the most important position in football, second most important position in football, and you're not paying anyone there. And like, I just that
when you had two guys to pay,
right? You had two guys, you couldn't pay them both, but you paid 0 of them. It's inexcusable.
This takes me back. I know we have to move on. This takes me back. Remember when Chandler Jones, Dante Hightower, and Jamie Collins were all up at the same time?
You said pick 2 or 3, and
pick 2. Yeah. They picked 1, and they picked the cheapest one.
Right.
And then you said, oh, it's because now they're going to pick Malcolm Butler because Malcolm Butler worked his way in position to make it 2 out of 4.
Didn't pick
him
either.
They pay Malcolm, but they credit to them that worked out.
They did pay Gilmore though. So even though they didn't pay Butler, they paid Gilmore. So like
and what they consistently do though is
she said like don't take this as
I know
he's definitely gone anything like that.
They picked the cheap option is the point. And the cheap option in this scenario is don't pay either one and go try to figure it out.
I just want a yes or no here because we do have to move on so that you guys can start your show in time and all that. But has Chandler Jones become the worst decision to let walk of Belichick's career at this point?
Yes.
I think so too.
The worst decision is Stephon Gilmore. Not up for debate.
He didn't let him walk though. He traded him, which is a very different conversation.
Well, I would throw it in the same.
He also traded Chandler Jones.
I'd still go. Yeah, he did technically trade.
He got a second round pick for Chandler Jones.
But I'd still go. I still go Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is going to end up like top 15 in career sacks.
It just doesn't matter. He's not a 3-down player.
Yes, he is. Now he is.
Yeah, he's a Hall, and he is a Hall of Famer. Like Keegan said, it's the answer. Chandler Jones. All right, last two. Adrian Phillips.
Keep.
Yeah.
That guy's so friggin' good.
Yeah, I love him. Last one, most important one. Kyle Schwarber.
Oh, keep. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I've got a plan laid out for you, Ryan. We're going to have this conversation one day. I've got my plan, my off-season plan.
All right, I want to hear it. We don't have time now, so we'll talk about it in the Twitter DMs. But I also keep Kyle Schwarber. Even if you don't have a master plan, you figure it out later.
Give him whatever he wants.
He's destined to be here, and he's just too freaking good. Okay. Halloween candy draft. Here we go. If you guys were around for me, Keegan, and Brian's obscure athlete draft, it's going to be the same format. Snake draft, 5 rounds. I'm going to put in a randomizer right now, and we will go from there. Couple of ground rules here. Variations of snacks are allowed, but they have to actually be different. For example, if you want to take Reese's Cups, someone else could take like a Reese's Fast Break or Take 5, which is Reese's brand. But they could not take they couldn't take like a Reese's pumpkin
or something like that.
If someone takes Reese's Cups, they also get like a Reese's Pumpkin.
Got it.
If you take Reese's Pumpkin instead of Reese's Cup, I'm going to smack whoever does it. That's ludicrous.
There is one, because I'm on the Reese's topic, Reese's have like the white chocolate Reese's now, and those have Reese's Ghosts for Halloween. That would be separate. Milk chocolate, white chocolate, that would be the difference.
If you pick that,
if you pick
that, you're disqualified.
Yes, that's why I'm comfortable using it. But if it's the same candy in a different form, not allowed. Same candy with a different type of chocolate, different flavor, whatever. That is.
Ryan, are you part of this as well?
Yes, I'm part of this. 3 rounds. So I'm going to throw.
Got it.
I'm going to throw the 3 of us into a list now. I'm going to randomize it, and then it's going to snake back around. Okay. So Keegan, you have first overall pick.
Let's go.
I will pick second. Pat, you will pick third. And then you will get the 4th pick. And it'll circle back around.
This game's under protest.
Okay. Keegan?
Reese's Cups.
First pick. Reese's Cups?
Cups. Reese's Cups.
It's the obvious pick.
The original. The ones in those little packages that don't have... They're not like sealed all the way. They're just kind of folded over and like pressed with a curling iron. Those ones specifically.
And just to be clear too, if something comes up that you try to pick and I think it's ineligible, I'm gonna make final ruling on that. I get to be judge, jury, and executioner there.
Okay.
My first pick, Reese's Fast Break. Reese's Fast Break better than Reese's Cups. Reese's Fast Break rules. Reese's Fast Break.
Is that the one? Is that the one with the? Is that the one with
it's like their version
pretzel and stuff in it?
No, that's Take 5. Take 5 also rules. Reese's Fast Break is like their version.
Ryan is very serious.
It has
about
nougat in it. Yes, Reese's Fast Break is the best chocolate candy.
Okay.
And Reese's is the best Halloween candy brand. Easy pick for me.
I think I'm going to make a graphic this week if I have time, if that's okay with you, Ryan.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it out on Twitter and we're doing it.
I don't have the skills for that or the time.
All right.
So if you have the time, hit me with it. Would love it.
I got back to back, right?
Yep, you got back to back picks here.
All right, I'm going to go. Oh, man. The problem is I got one that I really love, but I don't think it's going to come back to me. Although it might. It might. Well, Snickers, I'll go first round. I mean, Snickers is.
Okay. Don't make your second pick yet because I'm going to set up a sheet so that I can track this.
All right. And then.
So Keegan went Reese's Original.
Yep.
I went Fast Break, and you're going Snickers. Snickers is a great pick. Other than a Fast Break, probably my favorite chocolate candy.
And then.
Wow, that's a take.
And then I'm going to go. I'm going to be very upset if I don't get my next pick, but I'm going to have to wait because I'm going to get these back. So I'm going to go Twix.
Solid pick. One I'm a little lower on, but that's absolutely like a second round worthy pick. All right. My second pick. What you had just asked about, Pat, Reese's Take 5. Take 5 has the pretzel in the middle.
Man.
This guy.
Take 5 is my second favorite candy. These were my top 2 overall picks.
No variety in this man's life.
Snickers ice cream. Great. It's great.
Plenty of variety coming, but Reese's
All right, Keegan.
Reese's Take 5.
Do it.
All right, I got back-to-back. Kit Kat. Love a good Kit Kat. Kit Kat makes no, shut up, Pat. Kit Kat makes a key lime flavor.
Oh.
Delicious. I'm a big key lime pie guy.
They have a dark chocolate one, don't they? Dark chocolate. They're dark chocolate.
They have dark chocolate and mint, dark chocolate. Like they do it all, and they do them all well.
Worst candy bar in the world.
If you break your Kit Kats, you're a psychopath. Just eat them.
You just take a bite of the whole thing.
Oh yes,
you're insane.
Okay, we're the psychopath. And my next pick, M&M's. Peanut M&Ms.
Oh, peanut M&Ms.
All right,
solid choice.
So
regular M&Ms are terrible.
I would say original M&Ms would still be on the board in this case.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Peanut M&Ms.
All right. So that is your third pick. My third pick. Let me see what's next up on the list. All right. Typically, Halloween candy is like I think chocolate first, but you gotta have a little variety in there. I'm going Skittles.
Ooh,
it's nice. You get a bunch of chocolate, and then you get to the house that has little mini packs of Skittles. Perfect little break up there.
Oh, I'm so happy I waited. I'm going to go back to back. And I'm going to go off the chocolate board as well. I'm going with perhaps even my number one overall pick, and that is Airheads.
Ooh, Airheads is that's a solid Halloween candy. That's not a candy I'd go buy like at a store if I'm just looking for something. That's a solid Halloween candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You get it. You trade for the flavor you like with your friends, and then you take it and you just
Yeah.
Until it's ball and
that's the only good thing about those. That you get to do this.
You get to do this. He says. And then for my fourth round pick, I'm gonna go in the same realm. I'm gonna go Laffy Taffy.
That's again good Halloween candy. Not a
just
good,
give me all the sugar. All the sugar. Give me all the sugar.
All right.
A banana Laffy Taffy almost killed me once.
No, banana. No. Take your banana.
Banana goes in the trash.
Yes.
And then the rest are fine. The strawberry ones are the best. All right. My fourth round pick. This is one that I'll get flamed for because I'm very much in the minority on this. I have it ranked higher than Twix. Have it ranked higher than Milky Way. Three Musketeers. Give me a Three Musketeers. I like just like the airy mousse type thing in the middle. People think it's too boring. Everything else just builds on it, but I think the simplicity, great.
All right, what happened? Wrong one. How did you almost die from banana Laffy Taffy?
Yeah.
Literally, it was so bad that you bite into something and you like the juice. You swallow the juice first.
Yeah.
And it was gross. And I opened my mouth to like gasp for air, and it went straight down my throat. It got stuck. I was like 8. It was a tough day for your boy. I've got back-to-back picks to end it out. I need variety. First, Sour Patch Kids.
Ooh, good choice.
Love Sour Patch Kids. They're phenomenal. They're the only like really good gummy candy to me.
Gummy
bears are all right.
That's my favorite candy, period. I took Skittles over them for a fruit one because I think of Skittles more with Halloween than Sour Patch Kids. Or
Sour Patch Kids, it's always fun when you like. There used to be a family in the neighborhood that we would trick or treat in. They'd have a big bowl of the big Sour Patch Kids. It was like one individual Sour Patch Kid, and they'd be like, "Take a handful," and you take a handful.
That's great.
So that was sick. And then my last one, I went. This is super Halloween. The mini boxes of Nerds.
Yep. That's again just like
we just open it up and shoot it all.
Yep.
It's like a shot.
If you don't finish every single nerd in there in one bite, you don't deserve.
You're a coward.
That's
absolutely. All right, my last pick. I'm gonna disobey my own rankings here.
Oh boy!
Because one's still on the board that I ranked low enough. I didn't expect it to be here, but I think it's too classic of a Halloween candy to leave off the board. I'm gonna go Crunch Bar.
Yep.
Again,
I like Crunch Bar.
I'm never buying them, but I love them. I'll take them if it's they come with like the Mr. Good bars and like the 100 grams and all those kind of crappy ones, but that one's the highlight. If you're giving me those options, I'm taking it every single time. I'm enjoying it. It's very good. Give me a Crunch Bar. I'll tell you guys after Pat's pick what I left on the board here.
All right,
Pat, close it off.
Honorable mention.
I just had one, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that one a lot," and now it's gone. I had it. I was like, "Ooh, it's a solid pick," and then now it's gone. Shoot, what the hell was it? No, that's not it. I'm just trying to think. It's completely gone. I don't know what the hell it was. All right.
Countdown clock.
All right. I'm gonna go. I guess. Shit. I'm really upset at myself. I'm gonna remember it like later. Oh no, it wasn't Lifesavers, but it was
Starburst.
Crap.
No.
Yeah. That's like my bag. I was gonna say Starburst or Rolo, but there's another one out there that was bouncing around. But
all right,
I'll go Starburst.
If you think of it by the end of honorable mentions, I will replace it for you since it was last pick anyway.
All right, so we'll go Starburst. Yeah.
So honorable mentions here. Keegan, go ahead. You go first.
Butterfinger.
Yep.
Haribo gummies, the mini packs. Twizzlers, the mini like singular Twizzler. Listen, this is Halloween candy. I'm not saying I like them.
It doesn't matter. I'm throwing that in the trash.
Jolly Ranchers. My mom would never let us eat the Jolly Ranchers. She'd throw them all away because they're easily like rewrapped.
Yeah.
Whoppers, the malt balls,
out of here,
and Milky Way. So I don't like a single one of these, but they're Halloween candy.
Milky Way is fine. I like Milky Ways. That was the last. So I ranked exactly 15. Milky Way was my 15th. If I stuck to my rankings, what would have been my last pick is a Tootsie Roll Pop. Good Halloween.
That's what it was. Not Tootsie Roll Pops. No, not Tootsie Roll Pops though. No.
The Dum-Dums?
Blow Pops.
Blow Pops with the gum.
That was it. That was it. Blow Pop.
I'm firmly team Tootsie Roll Pop over Blow Pops, but there you go. The lollipop in general, a solid change up. Like your mom's like, you can only have one more piece at the end of the night. You grab the lollipop and you have it for like 15 minutes instead of just that one bite. The orange one was my favorite. I also remember I used to put them in my cheek and suck so hard that my cheek would get like raw. And I for whatever reason, as a kid, I loved that feeling. So I do all the time. Starburst is on my list.
Hell yeah.
All right. Candy corn.
No.
You guys suck.
I will say it's grown on me. It's grown. My wife loves candy corn. I think
you were on when we talked about it, Keegan.
My wife loves candy corn, so like I have it more now because she likes it a lot, and it's fine. I still wouldn't like choose it, but
I hate that it's become so polarizing because to me it's like it's the most down the road middle candy in the world. Like some people like it, some people don't.
Candy corn is good. The candy corn pumpkins are great. I had them down lower on this list. In terms of this candy, it'd be like a second round pick for me. It's not like I don't want it when I'm trick or treating though. It falls under Halloween candy.
Yeah, like
I don't want to trick or right. You just buy it.
And you buy like a big bag.
You have it in October. It's a Halloween candy. I don't want it trick or treating though, which is why
grab a few. Kind of like jelly beans during Easter season, right? You get a big bag of them and you go buy. Oh, I'll take a few of these.
The Cadbury mini eggs. Yeah, the chocolate eggs with the candy coating.
Yes, candy corn is that for Halloween.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then the M&Ms were on my list. I hadn't really thought about what kind specifically.
Peanuts.
Probably peanut. Yeah, probably peanut. And then the last one that I don't know if I like it or not, but it's like the ultimate Halloween candy to me in terms of you only see it on Halloween trick or treating. Dots.
Yeah. My dad, huge Dots fan. My dad eats Dots like year round, which is so weird.
My grandfather, he buys Milk Duds. They're his thing. He buys like 10 of the dollar boxes you get at like CVS. Yeah. He buys 10 at a time and he keeps them in the freezer. And he also eats like popsicles, like, the freezer popsicles.
Yeah.
Literally, my grandparents' freezer is full of Milk Duds and popsicles and ice cream. That's all they have in their freezer. Like no meat or
good stuff.
Else.
I mean, hey, that's life right there, brother.
This man goes through like 3 boxes of Milk Duds and probably 150 popsicles a week. Oh, he's insane.
All right.
I need to track it one day.
To answer this, and then we'll get into trivia. That is us punishing you for owning us in the 1700s and before. Boston baked beans. I don't know a single person that eats those here. That is disgusting.
No,
that is us reminding you that we beat you in a war.
The actual beans are great. The candy, gross.
I also don't like.
I don't like beans at all.
Huge beans guy.
I only like beans. I only like beans if it's in chili.
Honorable mention: the people who used to give out pretzels. Screw those people. And the people who used to give out like toothbrushes.
Plain pretzels or the
toothbrushes. No, you get your house egg.
The mini bags of pretzels.
Like the one. Yeah.
And they have like a pumpkin on the front. And the spiders.
But the people who make like the pretzel sticks that they dip in chocolate and have like the little face on those. Give me like 2 of those per trick or treat. Trick or treat.
And if you gave out a toothbrush or if you do give out toothbrushes, you should be arrested, thrown in jail forever.
100%.
That's the meanest thing you can do to a child.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into trivia.
Okay.
We're already running a little over here. You guys are recording right after this, so we'll try to keep it quick. But this is big, so this is a big deal. I'm going to open up the coin flip.
Private chat, Pat.
Yep.
What?
Get the private chat.
Oh, yeah, private chat.
So they can play along.
Thank you for reminding me.
Pat, you have fewer points in your matches than Keegan does in his. You guys are playing the same number of matches, so you get to call the coin toss here.
You know what I'm going to call?
Heads or tails?
You know what I'm going to call. You better know what I'm going to call.
Call it.
Heads. Come on, man. What do you think?
Matt Slater, baby.
It's got to be heads.
It's tails. Keegan?
Let's go.
You want first?
I'll go first. Give me the first
ball.
Oh, I was going to pick second anyway, so it works out.
All right. Works out here. All right. I'm going to get the timer up. For those of you who haven't tuned in yet, Pick 6 trivia competition. 6 rounds. 2 questions per round. 1 for each guy. You get your question right, you get a point. You get it wrong, your opponent can steal. They would get the point if they get it right. Whoever has the most right after the 6 rounds wins. If it's a tie, we have a tiebreaker question. Keegan, if you missed the beginning of the show, Keegan and Pat are both 2-0. Slightly different 2-0s. Pat had a worm burner 1-0 win in his first matchup. Had a better showing against Ryan Jackson, the audience representative, in his second one. But Keegan's been a wagon. Keegan's 2-0. They both had 5 points in a single match, which is tied for the record with one other contestant. Keegan had 5. Keegan had 4. Keegan's in the chat regularly, smoking the chat every single week when he's not on the show. Keegan is like the 2019 Chiefs right now.
Keegan's like the Dodgers, and I'm like the Braves.
Yep. And it's up to Pat to see
all
if
right,
he
tough
can pull
guy.
off
I see what you did there.
All right. The odd round matchups are the same every week. Round 1 is the current matchup: New England versus the Los Angeles Chargers. So the questions will be from the history of the matchup. You're gonna have 30 seconds from when I finish reading the question to answer. Keegan, to take the early lead. In the 2006 divisional round, who intercepted a Tom Brady pass before being stripped by Troy Brown, giving possession back to the Patriots?
See, I go quick usually with these. Quentin Jammer is the only one I can think of. So Quentin Jammer, final answer.
That's incorrect.
I know it's not him.
Pat, you have 10 seconds for the steal.
I didn't want to give Pat time.
This is probably wrong, but I'm going to go with Drayton Florence.
Final answer?
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's also incorrect. For the record, Keegan, the steals are always 10 seconds regardless of how much time left.
Yeah, I know, but if I was thinking...
I got you. The answer is Marlon McCree. Team Crazy Matt, who is going to be our next fan representative once we get a fan.
Nailed it.
By the way, shout out Team Crazy Matt.
I knew that too.
Still 0-0. Pat,
what an
chance to take the early lead, put the pressure on Keegan. In that same game, which Chargers kicker missed a game-tying field goal with 1 minute left?
This is probably going to be wrong.
Kicker?
Nate Kading.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Pat has a 1-0 lead.
Let's go.
There's one kicker. There's 40 defensive backs. So what kind
That is one of the most infamous plays of all time. If you are a Patriots fan, I knew it was Marlon McCree before I looked. I wrote these questions and then went to just make sure I wasn't going crazy.
I mean, it is one of the most famous plays of all time.
I was 7 years old. I know that you should know your history. I was 7. All right.
I
won't tell you how old I was.
I was 9. So.
I will not.
Pat was 36. He had 4 kids by the time.
Hey, wait a second.
All right, hurry up. Let's get on.
1-0. And it's hard to balance these questions. So you picked first. You obviously don't know what's coming, but that it's part of the game here. All right.
It's garbage.
Pat up 1-0.
Don't worry.
Plenty of time for Keegan to make it up. Keegan's already tilted. He's been talking so much crap. Round 2.
To be fair, I was gonna say Nick Novak. So I would have been wrong.
Exactly.
You were gonna say Nick Novak?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. The Chargers have multiple. The missed field goal is just like a Charger thing. Nate Kading doesn't stand out for missing that field goal. Marlon McCree stands out for that play. So, round 2, Heisman Trophy winners. Keegan, chance to tie it up right now.
Not good. Not good for me.
From 2010 to 2014, QBs won all 5 Heisman trophies handed out in that time. 4 of those quarterbacks ended up being picked in the top 2 of the NFL draft. Who is the 5th that was not picked top 2?
Not picked top 2. Okay. Oh, Tim Tebow. Fine. No, wait. I didn't say final answer. That was tough. All right, so I've got one. 2014. Oh, Johnny Manziel. Final answer.
Keegan, you're on the board. It's a tie game. The answer is Johnny Manziel. The other option, the other players, I'll leave it out because just in case. I'll go through them afterwards. So it is now 1-1. Pat, your question for the round to hold serve and stay up by 1 point.
Not good. Here we go.
From 2016 through 2019, quarterbacks won all 4 Heisman trophies. 3 of those quarterbacks ended up being picked first overall in the draft. Who was the 4th?
Shit. Nope. Christ. The problem is I don't know who won the Heismans. Crap. Shit. Let's go with. It's one of them, and I'm not sure which one it is. So I'm going to go with Lamar.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Give me the last name just to be clear.
Jackson, obviously.
Okay. It is 2-1.
Thank God, dude.
I knew that one so fast.
I was just deciding between him and Deshaun Watson. I didn't know whether it was Lamar. I'm like, it's either Lamar or Deshaun Watson. I didn't know which one it was.
It was Baker, Kyler, Lamar, and Joe Burrow. Those were the four.
Those were the four. And then in your question, the 5 were Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, RG3, and Cam Newton.
Got it.
So
Sam Bradford wasn't on there? When did Sam Bradford?
He was in 09.
Earlier
so
than that,
been 08.
Okay.
Yeah. So after 2 rounds, scores 2-1. Pat's gotten both of his questions. Keegan only got 1. Pat, if you answer correctly out from here, you win the game.
Oh, well, that's
it's easy peasy.
Good news.
All right. Keegan. Chargers is the category.
Okay.
Rank these pass rushers based on career sacks for the Chargers. Sean Merriman, Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa. I need all 3.
I want to go in that order. That's like what my mind's telling me. But I'm gonna go Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, Sean Merriman. Final answer.
That is incorrect. Pat, 10 seconds to take a 2-point, potential 3-point lead.
Let's flip Bosa and Ingram and go Merriman, Bosa, Ingram.
Merriman, Bosa, Ingram. Final answer.
Yes.
As incorrect. You flipped it, but then you also put Merriman at the front. You would have been right if you just flipped the There's Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram. I almost said Mark Ingram, who got traded today, by the way, and Sean Merriman. Fun fact here, because I was going to make him the question, and I figured it was too unfair because no one would put him above any of these guys. Sean Phillips has more than all 3 of these guys. He's second he's second in their history. He has like 66.5. Bosa is tops on this list. He has 51. Some old dude, I forget. But Sean Phillips stuck out to me being second.
Some old guy played in the 80s, probably.
Yeah, he was like Sean Merriman's, runner-up, but Sean Merriman just had such a short window.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It was like 2 years of Sean Merriman.
All right, Pat, to take a 2-point lead here, halfway through the game, up 2. That's a big deal. And to keep your perfect streak on your own questions. Rank these wide receivers based on Chargers' career receiving touchdowns. Vincent Jackson, Keenan Allen, Malcolm Floyd.
All right. Malcolm Floyd. Jesus Christ, dude. Let's go.
Patriot legend.
No, that's Michael Floyd.
Oh, that is Michael Floyd.
Malcolm Floyd was I won't give it. I'm not going to give information.
Yes, please don't. I'm going to go. Keenan Allen, Malcolm Floyd, Vincent Jackson.
Final answer. You're out of time anyway, so it's got to be final. It's incorrect. Keegan to tie
Vincent
the game.
Jackson, Malcolm Floyd, Keenan Allen.
Final answer.
Final answer.
It's incorrect.
What?
It is Keenan Allen, Vincent Jackson.
I refuse to believe it.
Malcolm Floyd.
I just didn't think if you put friggin' Floyd on there, I'm like, there's no way he's last.
So literally, he's a good throwback name.
Son of a bitch, dude.
He was on the Chargers for like 10 years.
He was a tall, skinny dude, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Super tall. And Vincent Jackson, all he did was catch touchdowns.
Yep.
He didn't have
but Vincent Jackson sucked for the Chargers. He was good for Tampa.
Yeah,
he didn't suck, but he only had like 2 seasons for the Chargers.
And Keenan Allen's also been in the league longer than I think people realize. It's like this is year 9 for him. Keenan Allen had 43, Vincent Jackson had 37.
I knew Keenan Allen was number 1. I just flipped too.
And I forgot to read off the sack numbers. Joey Bosa has 51, Melvin Ingram had 49, Sean Merriman had 43.
I keep overthinking myself because it's obviously Bosa and Allen lead the lists, but I was like, no way, he wouldn't do that. So.
Well, that's why I flipped Floyd and Jackson because I'm like, there's no way he'd throw a random name like Malcolm Floyd on there and have him be last.
He did wear number 80. All right, still 2-1. No one got points that round. We're in the same situation. Game just got 1 inning shorter. Round 4, U.S. Geography. U.S. Geography.
Let's go. I'm probably going to lose this because I don't know. I don't know actual geography.
How many states border Wyoming?
Oh, Christ.
How many states border Wyoming?
5. Final answer.
That is incorrect. Pat. For the steal, 10 seconds.
It's funny because the first thought I had was 6, so I'm going to go with 6.
Final answer?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Pat, you've got a 2-point lead. Chance to make it 3.
Look at that.
The states are Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado,
Idaho's in there,
Utah, and Idaho.
It's such a weird state because it's like a square, like perfect square. Wyoming.
Pat has a 3-1 lead. Has a chance to make it 4-1 here. With only 2 rounds left. Keegan's feeling the pressure a little bit. This 2021 Chiefs for Keegan right now.
I'm stressed.
Pat, to take a commanding 3-point lead with only 4 points remaining. How many states border West Virginia?
Let's go. 7.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect. Keegan,
5.
Steal
Final
to
answer.
Points back. That is
5.
correct. We have double steals.
I almost did 5.
Shout out our UK listener who got that right. The states are Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio.
Virginia covers like the top tip all the way down to the top right to bottom left.
Yeah, see, my problem is that I, for some reason, thought that there'd be a state like I had those 3, and I was like, well, there's got to be more than just 2 more, and I was wrong about that.
All right, round 5.
Idiot.
Same score difference. You guys stole each other's points here, so still a 1-point game. 4 points remaining. We're at round 5. Supposed to be the money round. It's the Patriots, but people seem to get this wrong every week. So
that's because you asked difficult questions because it's the Patriots, so you have to ask difficult questions.
All right. I would say this probably falls into the difficult category as well. Keegan, since 2000, how many times have the Patriots made multiple selections in the first round of a single draft?
Okay, so 2 separate times. Final answer.
That is incorrect. Pat, 10 seconds for the steal.
I'm gonna say 3. That's all I can remember is 3. Yeah.
Pat, you're dormied. You were at least going into overtime. The correct answer is 3. In 2004, they took Vince Wilfork and Ben Watson. 2012, they took Chandler Jones, Dante Hightower. 2008,
and then
they
the
took
other
Isaiah Wynn, Sony Michel.
Right.
2 for 3 there. Not too bad.
18.
Yeah, because Isaiah. Yeah.
How could I have forgotten 8? Like the most recent one was
right.
Pat, if you get any points from here out, you win the game.
Oh boy.
Wait, is that? He's up 2.
It's 6 rounds though, isn't it? We're only in round. Are we in round 4?
He's only up 2 points. There's 3 points left.
Yeah, but you can't get to 5. If he gets to 5, you.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So you're not dormied yet. I said dormied. You're not
yet.
dormied yet, though. You get any points here, you win the game.
Got it. Oh wait, are we round 5 already?
This is round 5.
Oh shit! I thought it was only round 4. Well, there you go.
What a terrible showing.
Pat.
God.
For the win. Since 2000, how many times have the Patriots made 0 selections in the first round of a single draft?
Ooh.
10 seconds.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Shit.
I need an answer now.
4.
Finally, I need to take it. So that's incorrect. Keegan, 10 seconds to get yourself back and shooting within a point.
I don't think you'd go 3 twice, so I'll say 2 times.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is incorrect.
It's 5.
You're going the wrong direction. Is 6.
Yeah. Oh, 6.
6. And
wow, dude.
Here, Keegan was upset that the round 1 question was easier for Pat. I think this was substantially harder than the first one. So I try to, if I have rounds that I think might not be balanced, I try to balance it throughout the game.
So it was 2000. I know 2000. That. Then it was the trade with the Patterson trade. The year they traded for Cooks.
17, yeah.
Last year.
Yep. And you're missing 2009, where they traded out and then got the Gerard Mayo. No, it was after the Mayo pick. They traded out, I think it was with the Saints when they got Mark Ingram.
Right.
And then 2016 is the other year you're missing.
2016.
Oh, because they didn't have it 2 years
when
in a
they
row.
lost the first round pick?
Yeah. 2017 they traded it for.
Yeah, 2009
I forgot. I mean,
2013 was the Patterson trade.
Got it.
16 they lost it. 17 was the Cooks trade, and then last year.
Got it. Okay.
What was the 13?
13 was the Patterson when they got Jamie Collins and Logan Ryan and
the
LeGarrette Blount
and the
Josh
Vikings
Boyce.
took Percy Harvin, Sharif Floyd and Cordell Patterson, and none of them particularly worked out very well.
Yep.
All right, here's the deal. We're into the final round. Pat, you are winning by a score of 4-2. Keegan needs both of these points to force overtime. If he gets his question wrong here, you win. If you get your question right,
he's not going to get it wrong.
If he gets your question wrong, you win.
I don't know where I am right now.
All that can happen. For Keegan is forcing overtime right now. We haven't had an overtime yet. The practice show that Keegan and Brian did for me when I was putting this show together went to overtime. We haven't had a real overtime yet.
All right, here we go.
Let's
do it.
Madden cover athletes.
Oh God.
Oh no, this is not good.
Oh my God. All right.
Keegan, stay alive. Who was the last defensive player to be a Madden cover athlete?
Okay, so I've got one. Richard Sherman, final answer.
Pressure's on Pat is Richard Sherman.
I thought that was
2015.
right.
2015.
Well, Dick Sherman.
I almost went quick and said Troy Polamalu, but that would have been.
Nope, that was the one before it. There's only been a handful. I won't say them right now. There's only been a handful. Sorry. I thought there'd been more. No, I mean you're just helping out Pat, if anything. It won't matter, but it was Richard Sherman. So Pat, again, you get this right, you win.
No, I won't. But keep going. Yep.
You get this wrong, and Keegan gets it right. There's overtime. You get this wrong, Keegan gets it wrong, you win. You have a chance to be the first person to score 5 points in 2 different matches. Keegan hasn't done that yet.
Okay, all right. Shut up and ask the damn question, would you?
Have new number 1. You got to feel the tension for the chat. All right, Pat. Who is the only Madden cover athlete to never make a Pro Bowl in his career?
To never make a Pro Bowl? Peyton Hillis, final answer.
Pat, you've won.
Let's go!
5-4 final.
Peyton Hillis, what a season. What a game. It really was what a game. One game against the Patriots.
Fuck. Keegan finishes with 3 points. Pat finishes with 5. He becomes the first person to reach 5 points in a.
I'm challenging Spags. I need another win under my belt.
So I'll say in Spags' defense, Spags has had like the rough showing so far. Spags should have beaten Brian. He blanked on a couple gimmies, not gimmies, but hockey questions he knew. Yeah, he blanked on one thing he knew. He should have beaten Brian.
The problem with Spags, he's too smart for like trivia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't care about that stupid crap. You know what I mean? Like we care about that dumb shit. He doesn't. Yeah. Reese, what the fuck? Digging fucking holes in my backyard.
Final score: Pat 5, Keegan 3. Pat takes over the 1 seed from Keegan. Keegan, I believe this keeps you with a 1 total point advantage. So if you're able to tie it back up with him and keep that lead, you'll get the tiebreaker. You still hold that tiebreaker.
All right.
Pat moves to 3-0. Keegan, you fall to 2-1. If the season ended today, which it doesn't, Pat would be the 1 seed, taking on Spags in the first round.
What's up with the dark blue gold hate? He said Team Pat till I die.
I was gonna say he was Team Pat from the start.
What the hell, man?
He was gonna believe. That's fantastic.
Keegan, post-match thoughts before you guys go record Pat's Nation, which all of you should just stick around on StreamYard ready to go watch that as well.
It's tough. I wasn't super confident because me and Pat, we spent the weekend together. Pat knows shit, like way too much shit. So I knew I wasn't gonna like blow him out. But I think I had a terrible performance. I think this was more on me being bad today.
He did. He had a rough. I mean,
I went quick. I didn't think
you trusted guts without thinking it through. You thought when the ones you thought through, you ended up getting. It was a bit rough.
Yep.
I will say, in fairness, it's very tough to balance these, and I don't have the time to really sit here and search and make sure that's fully balanced. So I do the best I can, and then, like I said, I try to meta balance. Where if I think one question's a little off, I'll flip the order of the next one so that. Balances out that way.
You did a great job.
I do think Keegan had the slightly harder set of questions, mildly.
Yeah,
it's my fault. I picked first. I shouldn't.
I mean, it's true.
As part of the coin flip here, Pat. Good shot. You're proving yourself to be a contender after that 1-0 week 2.
I was not confident coming into today, so I'm happy I got the win.
I also I had already written the questions when you sent on Twitter that you were begging for no baseball, and I was tempted to throw baseball round 6.
Lane Gate.
All right, let's get out of here. You guys got to go record. So anyone who's watching, again, we appreciate you hanging out. This one will end, but if you stick around, they'll be going.
Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes. I gotta before my wife divorces me. I got to help with the kids before we start.
Go check that out. I think we'll have maybe we'll do Keegan's bags next week. I haven't really thought it through. One of the main four will be back, and I'll figure out the other guests. Might be two of them again. We might try to get like a Mark back on, maybe the team or the audience team. We'll figure it out.
All right.
But appreciate you guys hanging out. And let's get out of here on fourth down with some predictions. Keegan.
I've got the Patriots winning this one. I know you said Chargers earlier. I think controlling the game. I know last year shouldn't factor into it at all, but the players that were last year, I think they might feel confident going into it. They're like, hey, we killed this team last year. Same quarterback. That's all. I'm just rambling at this point. New England 24, Los Angeles 22.
Interesting number. Okay. Pat?
Yeah, I got the Patriots. I had the Patriots losing. I just don't think. I mean, I feel like this defense was better last year when they beat the Chargers. I don't think they
Patriots defense.
I disagree with that, but
that's a
you guys got to short.
Well, secondary wise, because Gilmore was active for that game, was he not?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so that's all. Secondary wise is really what I'm talking about. Mike Williams also was terrible last year, and all of a sudden has had a little bit of a coming out party this year. I think that I think it's close. I think they keep it close as they've kept all these games close. But I think they probably end up losing something probably like, let's say 31-24, somewhere around there.
I'm going. I think it's close for like three quarters, and the Chargers pull away at the end. I'm going to go 28-13. 28-13 is like a 20 or like 17-13 game in the third quarter.
Yeah,
Chargers put it
I just think the Chargers defense isn't good enough for that, but you might be right.
All right, let's get out of here. Pat's Nation in about 15 minutes. Go ahead and go watch that. And if you can't watch it now, you got to go to bed or something. Download it in the morning.
That's right. Friday morning it'll be out.
Friday morning.
Get those listens in. For Keegan and Pat, I am Ryan. Yep, follow it. Follow Pat's Nation. Follow P_Lane_Pats. Keagan Stiefel. Don't follow me. Follow @Pat's Pulpit. And that's it. Have a good night.
Unfollow Ryan.